In December 2024, China approved the construction of the world's biggest hydropower project, a gigadam at the Yarlung Tsangpo River. This is no ordinary dam. Set to cost $137 billion, this is the most ambitious hydropower project the world has ever seen. Once completed, it will generate 60 gigawatts of electricity, 3 times the Three Gorges Dam, also in China, and the world's largest dam, enough to power 50 million homes annually. This new dam will be so powerful that it will outshine the current largest hydropower station by 3 times, the Three Gorges Dam, which has a capacity of 22.5 gigawatts. This ambitious project has ignited significant debate, with environmentalists and neighbouring nations raising concerns over its far-reaching impact. However, its proponents argue that the dam is essential for achieving China's carbon-neutral goals and asserting its position as a leader in renewable energy. Despite the controversy, Beijing is determined to proceed. Why? In today's video, we'll uncover the story behind the most ambitious hydropower project ever conceived. China's dominance in hydropower is no accident. Geographically, the country benefits from an incredibly diverse landscape that includes high-altitude plateaus, deep gorges, and steep river gradients, and its vast river systems, such as the Yangtze, Yellow, and Yarlung Tsangpo rivers, offer immense energy potential. The country has capitalized on these natural advantages by developing some of the world's most impressive megadams. These megaprojects are integral to China's ambitious carbon-neutral goals, with hydropower contributing over 20% to its electricity production. The gigadam will be built at the Great Bend of the river, where it makes a dramatic U-turn before entering India's Arunachal Pradesh. In this area, the river plunges approximately 2,000 meters over just 50 kilometers, creating an extreme elevation drop known as the Yarlung Tsangpo Grand Canyon, which includes the world's deepest canyon, reaching a staggering depth of 19,715 feet, 6,009 meters, from top to bottom at its deepest point, 3 times deeper than the United States Grand Canyon. This awe-inspiring natural phenomenon provides an unparalleled opportunity to harness hydropower, making it a strategic location for such a monumental undertaking. The dam will use this steep gradient to generate 300 billion kilowatt-hours of electricity annually, over 3 times the output of the Three Gorges Dam, which generated 104 billion kilowatt-hours in 2021. For the Yarlung Tsangpo River Dam, China plans to use a run-of-river system rather than a traditional reservoir to minimize flooding and environmental impact. This approach relies on an intricate network of tunnels bored through the Namcha Bawa mountain. Imagine these tunnels as giant underground water slides, channeling the river's powerful flow down a steep incline to generate energy efficiently. By bypassing the Great Bend's natural curves, these tunnels maximize the steep elevation drop, optimizing the energy captured. These tunnels, stretching over 20 kilometers each, will transport water through a series of hydroelectric facilities to maximize energy generation at various stages of the descent. This technique significantly reduces the need for a large reservoir, thereby minimizing environmental disruption. Run-of-the-river systems are particularly suitable for mountainous regions like this, where creating expansive reservoirs is challenging. However, the scale and complexity of the tunneling required present considerable engineering challenges, especially in such geologically unstable and remote terrain. Indeed, building a gigadam, or any kind of dam in the Himalayas, is one of the toughest engineering challenges. The Yarlung Tsangpo River flows through some of the most remote, rugged and unstable terrain on Earth. This region didn't even have a major road until 2013. The construction work will face thin air and low oxygen levels at high altitudes, making breathing difficult for workers and increasing the risk of altitude sickness, which reduces productivity. The region's extreme temperatures, ranging from -20 degrees Celsius in winter to 30 degrees in summer, strain both human endurance and equipment functionality. Severe weather events, including snowstorms and floods, are common in this area. These natural disruptions can halt construction for weeks, drastically limiting the annual work season and extending the project's overall timeline. Transporting materials, equipment, and personnel to such a remote and harsh environment adds to the logistical complexities, making it one of the most ambitious infrastructure undertakings ever attempted. But the location is not the only thing making this project tough. The dam's site lies in the Indo-Tsangpo Sutra zone, where two massive tectonic plates meet. This is one of the most seismically active regions in the world, prone to frequent earthquakes. In 1950, the Assam earthquake struck nearby with a magnitude of 8.6, one of the strongest earthquakes ever recorded. With the area prone to earthquakes, landslides, and flooding, construction will be no easy feat. However, if anyone can overcome these challenges, it's China. The country has successfully completed similar massive engineering projects before, like the Three Gorges Dam. But beyond the technical challenges, China's approval of the world's largest hydropower dam on the Yarlung Tsangpo River has sent ripples across South Asia, sparking significant geopolitical concerns. In India, over 40 million people depend on this river. It flows through Arunachal Pradesh and Assam, two states where farming is everything. In Bangladesh, about 75% of the country's population rely on it for their daily lives. The river even changes its name when it enters Bangladesh, becoming the Jamuna before joining the Ganges. The dam's location near the contested India-China border adds to already tense relations between these two nations. Many view this project as China asserting control over a critical water resource in a disputed region, potentially escalating territorial disputes. India fears that China could manipulate the flow of the river, which becomes the Siang River in Arunachal Pradesh and the Brahmaputra in Assam, impacting millions who depend on it for agriculture and daily needs. To counteract, India has announced its own ambitious hydropower initiative, the Siang Upper Multipurpose Project in Arunachal Pradesh. With a proposed capacity of 11 gigawatts, this project is poised to be India's largest hydropower endeavour, reflecting the strategic competition over shared water resources. This isn't something new. During the 2017 Daklam standoff, Beijing withheld crucial flood data from India, illustrating how water can be leveraged as a strategic asset. Any alteration to the river's natural flow, whether by withholding or releasing water, could exacerbate floods or droughts downstream, significantly affecting India and Bangladesh. The environmental stakes are just as high as the political ones. The dam would be built in a place scientists call a biodiversity hotspot. This area is home to over 60% of the world's red pandas and a host of other endangered species. But this isn't just about preserving cute animals. This region is one of the most ecologically sensitive places on Earth. The dam would require drilling 4 massive tunnels, each 20 kilometers long, through Nemcha Bawa Mountain. Imagine drilling tunnels longer than Manhattan through one of the world's most unstable mountains. Remember the Three Gorges Dam in China? That project displaced 1.4 million people. While China hasn't revealed how many people would be displaced by this new dam, in these remote Himalayan valleys, even displacing a few thousand people would mean erasing centuries-old communities and traditional ways of life. The risk to both local communities and their culture is undeniable. Bangladesh, squeezed between these two Asian giants, faces the most to lose. Imagine living in a country where 90% of your water comes from rivers that start in other countries. Bangladesh has been desperately pushing for a 3-country water sharing agreement, but China hasn't shown interest in negotiating. China uses twice as much electricity as the United States and 8 times more than Russia. Right now, most of that power comes from coal plants that choke their cities with smog. But China's trying to change that story. The plan is to become carbon neutral by 2060. In 2023, clean energy sources generated a record high 44% of China's electricity. So while the world watches China's dam building spree with concern, Beijing sees it differently. For them, Each new dam is a step toward their green energy future and their goal of getting 50% of their power from renewables by 2030. Can China balance its ambitious energy goals with the environmental and human price tag of massive dam projects? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, and please like, share and subscribe for more MegaBuilds stories.